hoopinhoops.com. Don't forget to subscribe and also leave a like. Okay, so let's dive straight into it. The Knicks defeated the Cavs 102 to 93 to take the series up 3 to 1. A number of persons have been surprised by this outcome. But if anyone has been listening to my past recordings, they will understand why this should not be a surprise. Like I said before, Donovan Mitchell is a good player, but it's his team game that's lacking. We saw it in Utah, and we are seeing it again in Cleveland. By winning game four, New York is now one win away from winning the first series in about 10 years. The last time the Knicks won a series was in 2013 when they defeated the Boston Celtics in the first round. The odds are not in favor of Cleveland for this one. Only 13 teams have come back from a 3-1 deficit. That puts the wins at 13 and 258. That means teams that go up 3-1 have a 95.2% chance of winning. But it's not just, the Cavs being down 3-1. It's also the way they have been playing. They pretty much are running one play. That is a pick and roll between Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland. Now, credit Garland. He showed up big in two of the last three games. This last game, game four, I believe. Well, it was game four. Actually, he scored 23 and 10 assists. But Mitchell, on the other hand, he was in a straight jacket all night, and he finished with about 11 points on 5 of 18 shooting. The other thing is Jalen Brunson. I know people keep saying Dallas should kick themselves and the Knicks stole Brunson from them. They're right. The Knicks stole Jalen Brunson, but Dallas should not be kicking themselves. As I keep telling people, when the Knicks put Jalen's father on their staff, there was no way Jalen Brunson was staying with Dallas anymore. So there is no shame on Dallas for that. Another thing people keep talking about is they're surprised how good Jalen Brunson is. Jalen was drafted in 2018 by Dallas, the same draft as Luka Doncic. And you've heard people, well, not just people, you've heard Luka actually speak about how close he was with Brunson and the chemistry they developed. That is what I will tell persons. If you look at Luka's game and you look at Brunson, the two of their games, there are differences, but there are also similarities. Neither player is over athletic. Well, Luka is not athletic at all, but Luka plays at his own pace, and you can't speed him up. And it doesn't matter, whether you're a bigger player or a smaller player, he's going to score when he wants to score. And that's the point I want to bring out. When you look at Jalen Brunson throughout this series, even if there is a larger player or bigger, taller player on him, he finds a way to score. And this is what, if you look at Luka's game a little bit and you look at Brunson, who's been playing behind him for all those years, I would imagine he pick up, a few tricks from him. So I'm not too surprised by Brunson being able to score in those situations because not only does he have the experience in the playoffs, but he's been able to observe Luka, and we know Luka came in to the NBA with a ton of experience, playing in Europe. So that's the one thing there. But let me touch also um, on Thibodeau a little bit because he has been one of the best defensive coaches in the NBA for a long time. Now, of course, we know in Minnesota he tried to expand his offensive repertoire, and well, that was not very successful. But defense is his calling, and you could see, some of his schemes he's using to lock up Cleveland. Persons sometimes forget he was the defensive coordinator of the Celtics when Pierce, Garnett, and Allen won, the championship in with the Celtics. And you know, you could also see some of his defensive schemes as a head coach um, in Chicago as well during his time there with Derrick Rose, Luol Deng, and these guys, you know. But this current Knicks, they will not score a ton of points, but what they will do good is defend. So, you know, again, it will be interesting to see what Cleveland could possibly come up with. But as I say, the odds are not in their favor because 95.2% of the times the team that's up 3-1 usually wins. It's not impossible, but they've got a huge task. Now, let me touch on the Kings Warriors a little bit. The Warriors won a close one, and I say it was a close win because Harrison Barnes missed a wide open game winner. And, of course, had he hit that one, the Warriors would be down 3-1. And we know Golden State would not want to be in that position. But the loss is really unfortunate for the Kings, actually. Not just because the series is tied, but because De'Aaron Fox fractured his index finger and is now doubtful for Game 5 at home. I know the Warriors have not been very good on the road, but if Fox is out, then the Warriors might now have some good fortune. I always said this before, you always want to see teams with all their players, or at least their best players on the court. But of course, injuries are part of the game. And the most we could hope is that someone steps up if Fox cannot go. Either way, the series has been a good one so far. So let's hope it continues to be that way. Hoopinhoops.com.